Okay, so jumping right into it. So what I did was I gave you all some like a library of geomes. So we've used geome point. You could you could use geome line. Um, you've used geome bar, histogram, and so and box plot, so on and so forth. But then it also just gives you what you need. So take a look at that, which is really nice. Okay. They're very interesting. From there, I give you themes. So things that you can change. So I have never, and I've been using ggplot since 2014. I haven't had a reason to use element line. Most of my things I've been changing has been element text. And so this gives you different things that you can change regarding element text. So at least you'll have like at least a decent foundation on what you can manipulate regarding the theme. So let's actually jump right into it in terms of today's we're not gonna analyze Kendrick Lamar, we're gonna analyze somebody else. Let's see. Give me one moment. We're gonna analyze Taylor Swift. So this code looks very familiar from last week because it is. But here we're going to run this line. We're going to gain access to all Taylor Swift songs. So let's run this. Okay, it's going to take a while because she has a lot of songs. Alright. Wow, it's taking a real long time. Okay, let's just look at the structure of this, We have 29 variables, 48 observations. Okay, these are the variables that we have access to. And so the reason why I'm doing this, at least I'm showing you this, so in the back of your mind, it's like, well, I have these different geomes, I have these different variables, I can try different types of plots. That's big. So with that being said, I have 3 different plots that I've created. But what I would want to do is use I can use ChatGPT to enhance these plots. So I'm gonna do that with you. So if I just didn't use ChatGPT, this is what it would look like. If I didn't use ChatGPT, this is what it would look like. And then again, if I didn't use ChatGPT, this is what it would look like. All right. So I cheated here a little bit. I used factor as in the other video. I shouldn't have done that. I didn't use it here. I want ChatGPT to actually give me the code to fix this. So let's actually go to ChatGPT. All right, give me one moment. Great, you made it. So here, I'm going to move things on my desk a little bit. All right, I'm pretty sure you can still hear me. I'm going to scoot in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right. I want to enhance, you remember that the first plot is the scatter plot. Enhance this scatter plot. Here, I'm going to be a little bit grammatically correct. Here is the code. Okay, so then triple quotes. So after that, I'm going to say here is how I would like to enhance it. Okay. So then what I'm thinking is I want to make the theme. And I'm going to use plain English. I want the points to be, say, blue and bigger. No comma needed. I want to have better label X and Y axis. I want to have professional titles, and I'm making that ambiguous and intentionally. Professional titles and labels. I want the background to look professional. I'm saying professional. to be professional. You can try other. I want the background. And you can think of other things as well. Background to be, because I want to say clear, but I don't want to, give it hints, too many hints. I want to be a little bit ambiguous so that you all can at least practice using your own language without doing what we did in the previous video. And hopefully it's going to show what we did in the previous video. And let's say I want to increase these fonts. Also, I'll make it another line. I want to increase the size of the titles. And labels. Let's see what it does. Okay. And what's nice about that, okay. Oh, look at that. Okay, look at that. Okay, so it gave us the point, increase the size. It gave us the point, turned to blue, increase the size. It provided labels for us. It made it minimal for professional. You see that, like that. Increase the font size for all the things that we wanted. And let's see, do we like this? All right. So do we like this? Let's see what it looks like. The only thing I would want to change here is that H just. H. That's the horizontal adjustment. And that's why it's important for you to know a little bit so you know, just enough to be able to do some changes yourself. Okay. Yeah. So why don't we, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this one. Why don't you take a moment and do this one yourself? Okay. So hopefully you try to do it yourself. I'm going to do it here anyway. But look what I say here. I'll say using the same logic, make this visualization more professional. And you know what? I'm going to remove factor. And I'm going to have it do its own way, but I'm actually going to still tell it, year. I'm not going to tell anything. Let's see if it does some modification. Okay. And if it doesn't, we'll tell it afterwards. Okay. And it doesn't, of course. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I think even with ChatGPT 4, because it's not going to know that it's a year, and it's going to treat it as a quantitative variable, where it needs to treat it as a category. It needs to treat it as a categorical. So year should be treated as a string, not numeric. I should say categorical rather than quantitative, but this should work. Let's see. Okay, so it's doing it here. It's doing the same thing. It's turned it into a factor. That's fine. Okay. And there's not so much you have to do in terms of the labels once you do that. So let's look at it. Let's see if we like it. Got ahead of myself there. And this way of doing it, I don't like it that much. I mean, we could just put it as factor here, but this one, actually, I think it's not going to mess up the name as much. And I know I didn't mention this in this last video, but let's actually add something to this. Okay, give me a moment. All right, so then what we're going to do is add the mean to the visualization so that we can actually see the mean in the plot. Visualization to the visualization. Let's see if that should work. It should know what I mean by that. Okay, and this is the first time we're doing this, and so it does. So it says stat summary, fun.data, mean, CL, normal. I don't think I have to worry too much about that logic, but what it's doing is providing the mean of the data of each of the actual albums. So if I just copy and paste that line, it's going to provide a red dot. Okay, so it should provide a red dot right in the middle that represents the mean. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you can do that as well. I don't know if you just change it to a median. I think it might be another code for you to run to. Yeah. It has to be another code to get the median. Alright. And so with that being said, what's funny is now I can enhance this one. And so notice my simplicity here. So enhance this visualization, and it's going to assume that I'm referring to this code here. So it's going to give me those same still specifications that I would like, the labels, the theme, so on and so forth. And it also rotated the angles a little bit. I wonder why it knew how to do that. Maybe it knew that's going to be too many of those numbers. Let's see. Copy. Okay, and paste. Okay, so the reason why I don't have to run copy and paste the previous line is because I already have it up here. Treating album year as a quantitative, as a factor, as a level. And so now here we go. So this graph obviously looks better than this. And I'm gonna add one more feature because these are bar plots. Bar plots, we can have the frequency on top of the actual bars and have it centered. So watch this. How place text of frequency. I'm using some big words. Let me say, put the number of songs per year on top of each bar. And I know that, alright, I'm gonna, if it gives you the issue, and I know the issue that potentially can arise, it's going to be the centering of it. Okay, theme, bar, fill. Okay, so this is where the label is occurring. So this is what it does. So now you can understand this code even more now. It actually finds the frequency of each of the songs per year, and it's grouping by year, and it's finding the frequency. So we've seen this before, so we understand this code. And then down here, it's providing the actual summarization, right? It's actually telling us the label. And what's nice here, this is it being centered, I believe. So let's go ahead and check this. So copy. Okay. Fingers crossed. So again, this is summarization of the data. And then this is me putting the summary of the data on top of the bars. Okay. The actual song count. And then I'm adjusting it vertically. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, that's good. Give us an error. I'm gonna work on that. Give me one moment. In terms of problem solving, it's actually important since we're learning to use ChatGPT to help us solve some of the problems. So what I did was I said I got this error. This is what it is. Explain it to me. So what it's telling us here is that in order for you to use GM text, you not only need to use the Y, but you also need to use the Y aesthetic, but you also need to provide the label. And what that means is that within this, you should say the label is actually going to be equal to the song count, and then the actual height of it. The height of it is going to be the corresponding song count. So let's see if this actually works. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. All right, I'm gonna put it here. Okay. There we go. So we have the frequencies on top of each of the bars. And so which is annoying is that this 82 is cutting off. What you can do is add another layer. It's called Y lim. And I want to make this from 0 to 90. Okay. So that's the Y limits. So now we can see it. Yay! Good job. So now you have cool graphs that you can create. And you can send to this title as well. All right. Thank you.